All right, call the regular city council meeting Monday, April 14th, 7 p.m. to order. Roll call.
Joe Von Toma.
Toby Nelson.
Sam Solars.
David Paradise.
Michelle Addo.
Jessica Bonniwell.
Jackie Hines.
Spencer Johnson.
Dan Reamer.
All right, invocation. Pastor Kathy Jones.
Let's pray. God, we thank you for signs of spring all around us, for the wind that reminds us that it still might change, for the crews out marking the highway, reminding us that the season is coming where the roads will be ripped up, and it'll give us an opportunity to be more patient. We thank you for each one of these people sitting before us, called to serve your community, taking time away from their family and other commitments to make this community a better place, to grow us together into something new that we can all be proud of to call home. We thank you for our first responders and the work they do to help us and all the people who live and move around here. Bless us in the coming season as summer approaches and keep us safe in your care. Amen.
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 Thank you.
Thanks, Pastor Kathy. All right, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'd be looking for a approval of agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Mr. Von Toma?
I vote aye.
Mr. Nelson?
Aye.
Mr. Paradise?
Aye.
Ms. Otto?
Aye.
I will vote aye. Passes 5-0. Approval of consent agenda.
I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I just want to say I'm glad Christy's taking the opportunity to go to that conference that's coming up, so.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet deal. They're
Yeah.
fully funded. It's going to be a real good learning experience for her.
Some of those expenses we will be reimbursed for and we'll have to pay up front, including the airfare, and I believe they booked your hotel? They booked your hotel? Yeah. And then they'll also pay the conference fees, so we'll get reimbursed for airfare that we'll have to pay up front.
Any further discussion? Ms. Otto?
Aye.
Mr. Paradise?
Aye.
Mr. Nelson?
Aye.
Mr. Von Toma?
Aye.
I will vote aye. Passes 5-0. Let's see. Wright County Sheriff's Office.
Hello again, everyone.
How's it going?
Pretty good. It's warmer out, so it's much better.
A little bit warmer.
So last month, total calls for service that we had was 231. Traffic stops are 104. I'm pretty sure that's a little bit higher than the month prior, so we're getting more active out there, getting more visible. It's that time of year, people are going to be playing outside now, so expect us more in the neighborhoods and letting people know to slow down and be cautious of who's out and about. Yeah, that's all I got. Any questions or
Questions, comments?
things you want us to work on? I just saw the information about the park. There's some issues at one of the parks, I guess. So we're gonna keep an eye on that one.
Skate park?
Not the skate park.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh,
regional.
yeah, regional, yep.
So it'll be
I would say watch four-wheelers, not only in park area, but in, I think, the farm area. They've been tearing it up.
okay.
So,
On County Road 12 there.
yeah, back there by 3rd Street. So,
Okay.
there's
do that.
been quite a few nuisances out there.
Okay. I think it was kids last year, right?
Yeah, it still is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome. I'll spread the word and
sounds
keep
good.
an eye out for them.
I know Lundin was out there trying to look for it, so.
Perfect.
And we did have some vandalism too over at the skate park, Thorson Park,
Okay.
so, yeah.
That's sort by Jackie B's?
Nope, that one is off by mine, Garfield North,
Gotcha.
down on the cul-de-sac there.
Okay.
Yep,
I'll make sure everyone's aware of all those issues and get us all on the same page.
perfect, thank
good.
you.
Awesome, thank you guys.
Thank you. All right, so we have a request for council action. Stephanie, if you want to come on up. Yeah, just state your name and address.
Stephanie Olsonowski, 924 Breckenridge Lane. Okay. So I am here today to bring up the topic of residents owning chickens. I would like to propose that residents are able to house in a coop setting 4 or 5 chicken or hens. No roosters, although roosters are really good to draw away predators. But I do realize that they can be a little bit loud. So right now, it looks like I put on Facebook a petition, and there has been 101 so far that has signed the petition, 30 of which are Montrose residents. I know that there was talk about, dogs and cats and issues that were happening along the city, but hens and chickens have nothing to do with dogs running loose. It is a owner's responsibility to restrain their dog. Chickens are not noisy, no noisier than, or hens, they're no noisier than a dog barking, if not quieter than a dog barking. They keep us safe. They eat they eat parasites. They eat diseases that are along the the ground. Other insects. Let's see. Chickens themselves are not smelly. It's the owner. You have to maintain the chicken coop. Most chicken keepers are also going to be gardeners, or most of them would have the knowledge of that. And an excellent organic fertilizer for, when you compost them. Does anyone have questions?
Where would you compost?
Your current garden or the garden, maybe I suggest the garden that we just created or the city just created out on Montrose Boulevard.
On Aspen?
Yeah.
Over there?
Yep. There is hardware out there too, from known people to keep predators away, that you just guardrail the bottom of it with a cloth that they make them for predators. So
Yeah, at least from my standpoint, from the 4 years that I've been on council, it doesn't matter to me. If you want chickens, I feel like you should be able to have chickens. With that being said, there is a way that we have to go about this. It does have to go through planning and zoning, so we gotta try to get it passed through there. And then I do think we still have a kind of a baseline ordinance that we had from a couple years ago. We kind of took pieces from surrounding cities. And then as far as, my biggest concern would be, how do we enforce those codes? Again, people got dogs running around. Chickens they're going to be a different thing, but I think it's something that we need to think about as far as code enforcement when it comes to a chicken. I think it's going to be a little bit different.
and I would say no free range chickens.
Yeah, right.
You'd have to have a permit and
And like I said, we took a lot of the stuff from Delano's ordinance, and there's this chicken coop can't be free range, and buffalo past theirs 2 years ago. In 2 years, they've had 14 licenses handed out. You know, how big's Buffalo? So 14 in that size of a city doesn't really sway me one way or another. If it was 1,000, yeah, it might be a different story. But 14, I mean, yeah, again, you want chickens, I feel like you should be able to, but I do think it needs to go through the correct procedure, and that's getting passed through planning and zoning. So, anyone else have any questions or comments for Stephanie? I mean, I think we've kind of been down the chicken road once or twice,
I've heard.
maybe 3 times.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think you're gonna see, like, my only opinion previously about the dogs and cats is that that's what I see all the time on Facebook and in my neighborhood. I know that's completely separate from chickens. I don't have a feeling one way or the other. I do understand that with the price of eggs and the healthiness comparatively to the store-bought eggs, I don't have an issue with people having chickens. It's how do we properly enforce rules around it and how much effort has to be put in. I mean, I've seen people say, oh, they're going to charge us a license fee. Well, if there's enforcement, if there's not a license fee, we're still paying for it because it's tax dollars. So, I mean, I'm not against it. I do agree that it does need to go through planning and zoning.
Yep.
So I've been watching your petition, and 30 people, where are they?
All in Montrose.
No, where are they right now?
I don't know.
Exactly. So, I don't want to be, whatever, but since you put it on there, there are people that, you've even requested people come and support this and come to the meeting tonight, and some of them said they'd be here, but they're not. So, and that's what happens. It goes to planning and zoning. They have a public hearing, which costs us hundreds of dollars to publish that. We've been doing it since, 11 years that I'm aware of, and nobody shows up, So it's, unless you have like a whole room full of people that are for this, it's gonna go nowhere. And I'm just being honest on that.
That's always been the hardest part too, is, you've had these public hearings and you get a couple people that come against them and then nobody shows up for them. And if you're sitting here on this side of the dais and, planning and zoning's looking at this and, well, I've got 3 people that don't want it, where are all the people that said they want it, and nobody's here. So that's always, in my eyes, that's gonna be the hardest part, is getting that backing. Because, people on Facebook say, yeah, I want chickens, but again, it's hard for us to take I wouldn't say the small minority, but, to take the people that are on Facebook and, hey, we want chickens, but then they want them so bad, but that they don't show up to support the cause, and I commend you for being here and getting up in front of us and doing this.
I'm nervous.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, we honestly just had somebody here last fall, probably, in support of chickens.
Yep.
I've given her different names, and she's like, oh, I don't have time to look into that now. Well,
Yeah.
okay, if you don't have time for a meeting, do you have time to clean up after the chicken? I don't know.
From what, I believe the gentleman back there possibly here for chickens. Okay, so, it's better than the last person that came that had one, I believe, she was the only person, and I've seen your work on Facebook. It is a great networking tool. It's getting people to actually go.
Yep, planning and zoning will definitely want to see a significant number of people at a public hearing this time. Yeah.
And I don't know, we've had that same problem, like we're having the volunteer fair. We had, on Park and Rec, we've had a hard time getting people to join that. I don't know how to motivate the people.
Them here,
Nope, I know, nope. And I appreciate
Thought I
that
had backup, but
I appreciate that you're taking the steps, that you feel necessary, because it does need to be done if people really do feel passionate about something.
Yeah.
I've heard from a few people, actually in person. I see the posts, I see all that, but unfortunately.
To me, it seems like you have a lot of good information there and that you've done a lot of research, and to just say what everybody else has said, just get them people here and be at that next planning and zoning meeting. And I mean, without the people here, they're, like they said, they're just gonna,
All right.
not look at it. But you have a lot of good information. You've done your research, which is excellent. That's a lot more than most people have done, bringing all that information up. So just get them people to back you and come to planning and zoning. I think, you guys could get it done if you can get the people there.
Sounds good.
The next planning and zoning meeting is May 14th here at the community center at 7 PM.
So we need a motion to pass it along to planning and zoning to, what's the rest of the wording for that? To look further into having chickens.
Probably just a motion to direct planning and zoning to conduct a public hearing on the chickens, and then have the planner prepare all the stuff again.
How long do you think you need to get people to show up? Because
It's May, that's.
Yeah, could you do it in May or do
that's
you
what
wanna
I'm
wait till
saying.
June?
It's- I don't want to have it for next month and she doesn't have time to get enough people to support it. I mean, how long, what do you think? I mean, I feel like maybe there's two of you that are gonna spearhead this, I guess. Yeah, but I want, give it a fighting shot rather than kind of as to what Michelle was saying, and I agree with, it's wasting of our money and
Yeah, I don't
time
wanna do
because
that.
nobody shows up. So what do you think? What do you need to get a good support group here with planning and zoning?
The next one is May 14th.
Yeah, so
So literally a month away.
a month away.
But we don't need, you don't have to do that one in particular.
That's what I'm asking. Do you want to be?
I'll try that one. May 14th.
If there are people that can't be here with a petition or signatures out,
No.
Physically, they're gonna wanna see people
They're gonna
here.
wanna see people.
They've done it enough times that they're gonna actually wanna see bodies.
And I would say because, not to, what you did, I saw the petition and everything online, but you had 101 and you said 30 are from Montrose, so that's gonna definitely be a killer statistic to share with them. So
You can get 30 bodies in the seats.
yeah, if you get those 30 that have signed, that'll look like something rather than saying 30 out of the 100, so 30% of people actually live in the town.
And let's say I can't then on the 14th, then what happens? Do I just not come? Do I email somebody or?
That's the thing, is if we put it out there for the 14th, we're putting hundreds of dollars into a public hearing, and our city planner drafting all of this. Again, it's
Once
it's money.
we schedule a public hearing, we have to post for it at least 10 to 15 days out, depending on how the paper gets published, what day of the week, or what day of the month that falls on. So, we would be publishing for it at least a couple weeks ahead of time, so,
Okay,
yeah.
I might have to push it to June then, because I don't want to waste
so
people's
you're-
time.
Yeah, I'd say stay cautious on it.
Yeah.
Because we want it to, we want to see community involvement.
Yes.
That's the one thing we haven't had.
Okay.
I would say wait till June and just, that gives you a better fighting chance to get more people here,
Yep,
Right, I agree.
I would recommend maybe coming back to next month's city council meeting, with an update of what you think you can do and if June's gonna work.
okay. Sounds good.
Or just reach out to staff, but yeah,
Okay,
I think give it a fighting shot rather than spending money and then nobody shows up. I'm with Michelle on that.
Yeah.
That's twice you've said that.
I do appreciate all the,
Yeah, appreciate you coming, so yeah. if you
appreciate all the work you
staff
put into
for
it.
Next council meeting so that we can push it out to planning and zoning, that would be the next step.
okay,
In May, so for the June meeting.
all right, sounds good. I appreciate it,
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so nothing needed there.
You guys gonna, table it?
Yeah, we'll table it
Till
till.
next month when she
table
comes
it for
back.
next month.
All right, down to reports and recommendations, city council activity report.
Planning and zoning was canceled last month, so I just have council and strategic planning.
I had Park and Rec, Council, and Strategic Planning.
Council strategic planning, meeting with Tom Emmer's office, meeting with a resident, meeting with a couple potential developers. that's it.
Did you do community ed?
Yep, community ed, thank you. EDA. Yeah, I'm sure there's more, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Almost like you should write it down.
Waste ink, ink's expensive.
So fire department, city council, EDA, and strategic planning.
Park and Rec, strategic planning, Celebrate Montrose, community ed, council.
All right, Montrose Fire Department, do not see Kevin.
Fire Chief Triplett was unable to be here this evening. If you have any questions on the activity report, I can let him know and he can reach out to you.
You just asked Joe and I.
Or ask one of the lovely firemen that are here this evening. Otherwise, the next thing is to accept the resignation of Roy Henry Jr. effective April 1st, 2025.
I will make a motion to accept the resignation of Roy Coco Henry Jr.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Mr. Von Toma?
Aye.
Mr. Nelson?
Aye.
Mr. Paradise?
Aye.
Ms. Otto?
Aye.
I will vote aye. Acceptance of resignation passes 5-0.
And the third item is to accept Roy Henry Jr. as a reserve firefighter effective April 1st, 2025. Coco's
will
kind of stepping
accept.
back. Yeah, he's just stepping back some involvement, so.
I will accept Coco Roy Henry Jr. as a reserve firefighter for the fire department as of April 1st.
I will second.
Further discussion? Ms. Otto?
Aye.
Mr. Paradise?
Aye.
Mr. Nelson?
Aye.
Mr. Von Toma?
Aye.
I will vote aye. Passes 5-0. EDA.
All right, so we had a meeting with JP Brooks and Mr. Sweeney came as well. So there's going to be some changes that JP Brooks was looking to do with kind of their phases here. So one of the main things is they want to change a little bit of what the overall look is. So they want to add 28 single floor.
Yep,
One floor housing. They've been getting some interest there on that. So with that, looking at a little bit of a change in how the TIF was working on that piece as well.
Rentals.
But some rentals mixed in. And so all in all, our recommendation of talking with JP Brooks, with Mr. Sweeney on this, is that the changes that they're asking for are changes for us to help fill that up. Nothing really extra coming from us other than just accepting those changes. So the EDA did pass the motion to accept the subsidy agreement for Phase 2 of the Preserve TIF District. Any questions on that?
And then in order to move forward with this, we will need to have a motion to approve the city attorney to draft that TIF agreement for Phase 2 and revise the agreement for Phase 1.
So with that, I'd be looking for a motion to I don't even know how to word that.
Just a motion to authorize the city attorney to draft the TIF agreement for Phase 2 and revise the agreement for Phase 1.
Perfect.
What Jess said.
Yeah, because then and everything will come back for approval once that's done. And they also need to go through the planning and zoning process to replat their plat, basically. So because of the changes they're making, the single floor will have a bigger footprint, so they're taking up a couple of parcels and kind of shifting things around, so they're just replatting the parcels that are out there.
I'll make the motion of what Jess was just said. Does that work? 'Cause I don't.
That would be to have the city attorney draft the TIF
Draft
agreement.
the original
Phase
agreement to
2
change to
and
Phase 2.
revise agreement for Phase 1.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be looking for a second.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? I will say that JP Brooks so far through this process has been pretty amazing to work with. We've got really good feedback from staff. There is some interest from them possibly doing some stuff in the future, so I think having a good working relationship with them really gonna pay off in the long run for us. And again, I've heard nothing but good things from staff with working on them, so.
And having a developer that's local that actually cares about the communities is a huge thing.
Yep. All right, Mr. Fontoma.
Aye.
Mr. Nelson.
Aye.
Mr. Paradise.
Aye.
Ms. Otto.
Aye.
I will vote aye. Passes 5-0. Anything else for EDA?
No, that was it.
Okay. All right, Park and Rec.
Evening, Mayor and Council. Not too many updates, and not asking for money, so.
Sweet.
What?
Music in the Park, is going smoothly. Our wonderful firefighters have agreed to do some brats and hot dogs, so I want to express extreme gratitude on that. It really helps us out and it goes towards a great cause. So, kids painting events still scheduled, advertising, music in the park, movies in the park. We're waiting on information for kids on Carver Field, so hopefully we can have some games out there. We'll be at the volunteer fair. I'll have prairie plant seeds and just information about what Parks and Rec is doing all the rest of the remainder of the year. And then we're going to do some sidewalk chalk with Celebrate Montrose this summer. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Unless anyone has any questions, comments, concerns.
Hearing none, we'll let you go.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks. City Engineer,
Yes, good evening. Thank you for having me this evening.
thanks for coming.
What's that?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. In your packets, you will find the final pay application for the 2024 street improvement project and final reconciling change order. So the pay application is in the amount of $27,145.14, bringing the total contract amount to a total of $239,115.45, which is approximately $12,250 under the original contract amount. So as I previously stated, the change order one, it's kind of confusing, but it has an increase of $21,710 for the offset in supplier discounts that the contractor lost due to the reduction in the project scope. And then there is a net decrease then in the amount of $33,959.95, which ended up resulted in the total net decrease in that $12,249.95. So, any questions?
Nope. Okay, so I'd be looking for a motion.
I will make the motion to accept the final pay application number 2 and the change order number 1 for Bolton and Mink.
I will second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Otto?
Aye.
Mr. Paradise?
Aye.
Mr. Nelson?
Aye.
Mr. Von Toma?
Aye.
I will vote aye. Passes 5-0.
I have no other updates unless there's questions from council.
Anything for Spencer? Nope. All right. Thank you. All right. Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. First thing on the docket under Public Works is hopefully to get your approval to hire a maintenance worker one at $29.68. Already had your approval to advertise for it. I was hoping to have a name tonight, but we got it narrowed down. We're just looking to get approval to hire for that, fill that position.
How many interviews did you have, Danny?
21 applicants, 10 interviews. We narrowed it down, so.
Be looking for a motion for approval to hire.
I will make a motion for approval to hire maintenance worker one at $29.68.
I'll second.
Any further questions for Danny on it? Mr. Von Toma?
Aye.
Mr. Nelson?
Aye.
Mr. Paradise?
Aye.
Ms. Otto?
Aye.
I vote aye, passes 5-0.
Thank you, Council and Mayor. Number 2 on the docket is the approval to hire and advertise for summer help. This is nothing new. We usually hire 2. Looking to get it out there in the paper, possibly. We possibly might have one coming back for the 3rd year in a row. But we usually hire 2, so I probably will have to advertise for it either way. Looking for that approval.
I'll make your motion to approve to hire and advertise for summer help for the summer of '25.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
What are you planning on hourly rate on that?
What's that?
What are you planning on the hourly rate?
I don't plan on increasing it. It's been 20 for the last 3 years.
wanna
So
make sure.
we're just gonna leave it at 20.
Okay.
I think it's still competitive, so.
Perfect.
All right, Ms. Otto?
Aye.
Mr. Paradise?
Aye.
Mr. Nelson?
Aye.
Mr. Von Toma?
Aye.
I will vote aye, passes 5-0.
Thank you, Mayor Council. Number 3 is updates. We're currently flushing hydrants and going through the interviewing process for, well, I think we're done with it, the maintenance worker. So we have 1 employee out, 1 position missing. So yeah, we'll be flushing for the next 2 weeks. You'll see the guys out and about.
Cool. Anything else for Danny?
I don't really have any updates. A couple projects is County Road 12 was getting milled and overlaid at one point, and Highway 12 is the big project for the summer.
Cool.
I know this isn't all your undertaking, it's more city as well, but do we have a full plan for city cleanup day?
Christie.
We have a full plan.
It's ready to go. Date's been set. I'm assuming we'll advertise for it online. I think they already put it on the web that the pickup's gonna be available again,
We
and
have people who've already registered, we have posts out there, it's in the paper, at the, posted, we have all the vendors lined up, should be good to go. Unfortunately, Ms. Bonnywell will not be able to be there this year, so we're gonna have to do it without her. It won't be easy, but we will muster through it.
Did Mickey request her appearance?
and we encourage all council members to come up. It's a great way to meet people from the public.
I'm always there. I like it.
I'll for sure be through.
Are we doing it back at City Hall again?
City Hall, yep, the location's back at City Hall, just seems to go smoother.
And again, if anybody has any questions, reach out to city staff. Don't post your questions on Facebook. It's a lot easier to get answers if you contact City Hall.
Nothing's really changed. It's the same cleanup day. The date, we did change that a little bit. It's May 17th this year. So, to make that public.
I'm usually not here.
All right, thanks, Danny.
Hey, Dan, have you guys been out to Thorson Park at all?
Thorson.
Skate park? There was some vandalism there.
Okay, when was that reported? None, that was
Yeah.
not reported to me whatsoever.
Yeah, spray paint again.
Okay.
Why don't you just take a look out there
Okay,
on the signs and
yep.
stuff.
On the sign.
You know, the park sign.
This is a perfect opportunity for Park and Rec to just do a spray paint event out there.
Yeah, once we start hitting
some
these
nice
parks up,
graffiti out
and it starts
there.
getting nice, well, but it's on
Forget the chalk.
the sign for that says Lent, or skate park right on it,
Yeah, like the rules and whatnot.
how long has it been on there?
Oh, I kind of forgot about it, so a couple weeks.
That might be hard to take off, it might be a new sign, but we'll check into it.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else for Danny? Okay. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks.
All right, old business. Planning and zoning bylaws ordinance change.
Mayor and council, this was a continuation of the bylaws change for planning and zoning that we did last month. This is putting the city code in line with the bylaws regarding filling vacancies. This would allow, so if somebody resigns, they would be done with their term and a new person would just start a whole new term over. They wouldn't be finishing out the remaining portion of anybody's term. They would just be starting a brand-new term for themselves.
I'd be looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2025-02, related to filling vacancies on planning commission.
I will second.
Any other discussion on it? Hearing none. Mr. Von Toma.
Aye.
Mr. Nelson.
Aye.
Ms. Paradise.
Aye.
Ms. Otto.
Aye.
I'll vote aye. Passes 5-0.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-08, resolution authorizing summary publication of ordinance 2025-02.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Ms. Otto.
Aye.
Ms. Paradise.
Aye.
Mr. Nelson.
Aye.
Mr. Von Toma.
Aye.
I'll vote aye. Passes 5-0. No new business. No open forum requests. Upcoming meetings, EDA is canceled. City Council Workshop, Monday, April 28th, 4 p.m. at Montrose City Hall. Park and Rec, next meeting will be Tuesday, May 6th, 5:30 at Montrose City Hall. Our next regular council meeting will be Monday, May 12th, 7 p.m. right here. And planning and zoning, Wednesday, May 14th, 7 p.m. right here at Montrose Community Center. Acknowledgements, recognition, announcements.
I will say, that's probably the most information I've seen on chickens brought to council. So I do appreciate the time put in, because it all does take time.
It does, it does.
I would like to recognize Roy Coco Henry Jr. for 22 years of service on the fire department.
I will second that. All right, hearing nothing else.
Motion to adjourn?
Sounds like a motion to me.
I'll second.
All right, further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 We are adjourned 7:38.